Oh! No! Oh my god! But hang on! Oh my god! Oh. Oh my god. The storm has now arrived. Hey guys, this is LongBoy13 here. Not a hugely long video, but I wanted to just maybe a bit random today. But this video is about 150 years since the shipping weather forecast. So basically, this is how I believe the weather forecasting has begun. Around 150 years ago, all started on a ship. I have heard some bits about it. You know, they just get some very cheap data. You know, like across the UK or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know it started out from big cargo ships a long time ago. So you may learn some new things. So we're gonna have a look at this. There's a quick video of this.
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office at 2343 on Friday the 14th of June. There are warnings of gales in Thames, Dover, White, Portland, Plymouth and Seoul. General synopsis at 1900, low Southwest Island at 1006.
Up the tide for vanity. There's a love in the high 40s.
Darkness outside, inside the radio's prayer. Rockall, Malin, Dogger, Finisterre.
Now the shipping forecast, issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency.
North at Sierra, south at Sierra, southwesterly 5 or 6, veering westerly or northwesterly.
Blowy, quite misty, seasickness. Not many fish around. Come home, veering suggestive.
And it's still common today, even after 150 years. There you go, guys. So basically, Dogger, Fisher, German Bites shipping forecast celebrates 150 years. The maritime service first launched in 1867, and is still vital to seafarers, says the on-air ally. So, let's begin into a little bit of information. As we know, concentration, mourning, and natural soul searching greeted the temporary silencing of Big Ben last week, but at least another favoured mixture of the nightly and early morning radio is to continue. The hymeneal cadences of Viking, which we know, North Udshire, South Udshire, through Shannon, Rocknell, Malin all the way to southeast Iceland, will be heard as usual on Thursday. Shipping forecast celebrates 150 years of uninterrupted service. It was actually a couple of weeks ago, but I was away on holiday, so 23rd of August it was. So we're doing it today. Shipping forecast, the longest continuous weather forecast ever made, has been a public service since 1867, when it was used to warn of storms. The warnings were first issued using the electric telegraph until radio became available. Storm warnings were sent over telegraph wires to harbours where signals were hoisted to warn ships at sea. So, when the BBC was formed in the 1920s, the maritime forecast became a fixture of the daily wireless programme, where it would remain with occasional modifications and a break during the war, when the broadcast was discontinued for fear it would help the enemy. The forecast was still made, however, and disseminated to the Royal Navy. Though today's seafarers have access to many more sources of meteorological data, and many road listeners famously use the late-night intergalactic broadcasts, never more than 380 words, and always following the same strict format for specific rather than navigational purposes, the broadcasters still fulfill a vital safety role. So Peter Dawn's life-saving service manager at RNLI said it is an excellent source of information and a vital tool in helping people make critical safety decisions at the coast and at sea. We urge everyone to check the weather before heading to the coast in order to stay safe. A century and a half ago, the shipping forecast was the most practical application of the techniques of weather forecasting pioneered by Robert Fitzroy, Vice Admiral and founder of the Met Office a few years earlier. A disastrous storm off the coast of North Wales in 1859, in which the Royal Chartered Steam Club foundered along with more than 130 other ships, with the loss of 800 lives, led the naval scientists to start publishing a tentative series of weather forecasts from 1861. Fitzroy, the captain of HMS Beagle, on which Charles Darwin made the voyages that led to his theory of evolution, was one of the fathers of modern weather forecasting, rightly foreseeing that new technology, including improved communications and observations, would render accurate predictions of the weather possible. But he was ridiculed for years for his efforts, and his petitions to the Board of Trade for public support went unanswered. Discouraged by the response and having exhausted his fortune attempted to set up a regular forecasting service, he killed himself in 1865. So then, after his death, the regular forecasters he initially seized, the public outcry led to their reinstatement in 1867. So that's a safety tool for mariners, and they have continued with occasional modifications ever since. Fitzroy is now commemorated in every shipping forecast as the sea area was named after him in 2002. This caused its own conservation of introduction, nearly on a par with that currently surrounding Big Ben, because Fitzroy replaced the long-standing and spontaneous Fitzroy as an area sea close to similarly named areas of the French and Spanish maritime areas. The shipping forecast is now 93% accurate overall, right? Pretty good. And the forecast for inshore waters is about 97% accurate. Wind direction is not always as easy to get right, as wind speed with about 80% accuracy and more than 90% respectively, while about 15% of gale warnings somehow turn out to be false alarms. And there you go. This is generally just a bit of information from the shipping weather forecast. You still use it 4 times a day, but most commonly people just stay tuned to the internet and TV for the weather forecast. But there you go, 1867, that's how weather forecasting began in our world. And there you go, you learn something new every day. Alright guys, video is it for now. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe. Next video will be, interestingly, another thing about opening, is going to be that new bridge. More information to come next video of this year that's open in the UK. I don't know much about it, but it might not be it does have something to do with the semblance of the weather. You'll find out very soon. Give it a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want me to do any extreme UK weather events, weather vlogging, or global weather forecasting, comment below. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, and the storm is now out.